Oh, there it goes. Everybody look up and watch out. It's Keep Up, what's still been saying. I'm here with the rest of the Keep Up crew. I don't know where they at, but let's get into some motherfucking shout-outs.
Hooray! It's time for some motherfucking shout-outs.
Here we go. Centauri Minor, he is our guest for this week. He is from Arizona, and he is from the health profession industry. He's got a lot more to him, but he's got a motherfucking shout-out for us.
My shout out today is to David Gerber of Novus Global. So David Gerber is my coach, and he helps me get through life professionally. Man, I don't know what I'd do without him, so I thought I'd give him a little love today.
Hell yeah. Right now, my dad's flavor, well, it's not of the week. Like, he does have people that he really looks up to. And right now, it's Les Brown. It's Les Brown. Les Brown and his motivational talks. If nobody knows, he is, I mean, this is not his claim to fame, but to me it is. I don't really know him that well other than radio and being married to Gladys Knight. And before the radio, I just knew that he was married to Gladys Knight. But good for him that he is a motivational speaker. He charges a lot of people money like Tony Robbins. I wouldn't know. I heard it from a friend. But here we go. Good shout out to David Gerber and shout out to our new guest, Centauri Minor. Let's get into some viral news.
You got nothing on us. You got nothing.
What the fuck happened?
You know it. And there's a lot happening. But right now, a lot of people are showing off that they got their COVID shots. I know this is really personal, but who gives a fuck? You've heard all types of shit from me. I got one of my shots. I will get my second shot, I think May 2nd.
Are you
come back?
Moderna or Pfizer?
See, that's why we're talking about this. Hell yeah. So Moderna, and I did not want Moderna. Shout out to my homeboy Justin Reese. He's the one that tried to scare me out of that. He was like, your blood can't detox on its own with that one, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I mean, maybe that's true, maybe that's not. I am not a health professional in the least bit. I have worked in health, but on the media side, on the marketing side. So basically whatever a health professional told me, I just marketed it. It's not that
right.
I knew it. It's not that like I was like, right, you know what I'm saying? I say this joke all the time. It's not like I was wearing a robe at the Holiday Inn. I was like, let's do this. Let's do this, Doogie Howser. Not me, no how. And, so I took the Moderna. Many of my friends and relatives of different, one of my cousins, she works for UPS. She took, she did take the Johnson & Johnson. And that's really scary, actually, because they've been getting blood clots and they have to recall it. And I wanted to know your opinion on that. And if you have any knowledge, on the Pfizer, or any of that.
Yeah, so we were, technically I was part of the 1A group, even though, so, full disclaimer, I am not a physician, I'm not a practitioner.
Word. That's fine.
I don't agree with that. I do healthcare strategy, but so I got my first dose, I think Christmas Eve of the Pfizer, so I've been fully vaccinated since the end of January. On the Johnson & Johnson, it's, we joke among my friend group around just like kind of the hierarchy, if you want, of vaccines, which is like Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson. It's kind of the low budget vaccine, if you will. And
I know I get jealous of people with the Pfizer. I always do. I'm like, damn it, that was the one I wanted.
From what I can understand about the J&J, I will say this. There was a great article in Axios about how our brains just are really bad at assessing risk. At the end of the day, it's been 6 people that died out of however many millions of doses given.
Yeah, so 1 in 1 million. That makes sense.
Yeah. So the odds of it happening are pretty low, and it's still pretty remarkable given what it will do to protect against the coronavirus. I think if I had kids, or if I was giving this advice to a spouse, I would say if the J&J is the only thing available, get it. I mean, get it. The odds of something happening to you are pretty low. But I do think what the hard part is outside of just the vaccine and the medical piece is, how are people going to have trust in the J&J vaccine moving forward? And that's the hard part. The CDC, when they stopped it or halted it for the week, I think that signaled to folks that, hey, no matter what, this is not going to be safe for me, which is not true. But now I think J&J just has a messaging problem and a public will problem. And that part is kind of scary because we need as many people vaccinated as possible.
I'm going to ask a fourth wall question right now. Do you need the glasses? Do you need glasses? Because it's like really reflecting So like when I get like screenshots like for the marketing, okay, great. And if you do need the glasses, I would suggest actually tilting your camera a little bit because
I don't need glasses.
Okay,
I have to read anything.
No, you do not.
Okay,
I mean, unless you got like the outline just like all big, it's all good. And this is all candid, it's all good. Don't worry.
I'm good.
Okay, great. So, that sucks. And J&J is already sketchy. They're already a sketchy company. They've already gotten away with a lot of shit, Tuskegee, all that shit. They've always been a part of some conspiracy, genocidal, frickin' and you have to say that. And this is not obviously the 6 people you said, so it's obviously not that. But they already have a really bad reputation for history. They already should not be operating anymore. They're like BP and oil. You know what I'm saying? Like enough. Like what's the other one? Exxon. Enough already with the oil, like with the oil spills and shit like that. Go away.
Yes,
exactly. So I don't consider myself a conspiracy theory. I think if you have just one, if you have more than one, that I feel like you are. Like it's like okay, now it's time for the tinfoil. Now go in the corner somewhere with Alex Jones and go talk amongst yourselves. With the J&J Recall, like I said, I love my cousin. I hope she's okay. I hope everybody is okay with that. But you're right. I think when it comes to like Arnold Schwarzenegger, come with me once you live, man. Like you gotta, like Axio said, you gotta assess risk. And like, what's his name? Roman Pfeiffer from Along Came Polly. You gotta assess the motherfucking risk. You gotta put your hand in the peanuts.
Yes.
The bar peanuts. You got to be able to do it, man. That's some pissy nuts, but it's all good, man. It's all good.
Dude, did the CDC? I haven't actually followed the CDC. Did they say it could go back? Are people going back to the J&J or not yet?
No, not at all. And again, I go back to sketchy because I'm not saying this is not true, but they did try to blame a manufacturer right before that, and that probably is true. But again, Johnson & Johnson is so big. So big, so too big to fail, too big not to lie. And I would not be shocked if that was actually if that was a first cover up, and then finally it just blew over. The levee broke.
Especially when you had, Pfizer and Moderna that seemed to. I mean, there were side effects. I certainly had some side effects, but it was mostly just fatigue. But other than that, like those have seemed pretty fine and legit. And then you have out of the gate Johnson & Johnson, which people were already skeptical about.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they re-roll it out or what they do to kind of get the public trust for it.
Absolutely. 1918. There's just so many examples of where they fucked up, where they gave people, bacterial pneumonia and shit like that with their masking and with their vaccine. To be honest, I think I would have rescheduled even before all this news. I would have been like, is there another one? Like, if I don't like Moderna, but like J&J, I don't know about that one.
Right.
I don't even like putting their fucking baby powder on me. Like, what the like? I do fuck with their what's that shit called? Their bedtime lotion. I'm not gonna lie, I fuck with that.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, the purple one, the lavender one. It's for babies. Like, you're supposed to like calm them down at night. It calms down fuck boys too, guys. It's fuck boy recommended.
Oh, I love it.
So anyway, same old Biden, same old bidet. I had my first bidet when I went to the Philippines. I never had water squirted up my ass before. And I was very afraid of it, but there was no toilet paper. We were in this.
What you do?
Yes. What did we do? Oh, the bidet was there. The bidet was there, and we were looking at each other, me and the bidet, and we were just like, okay, well, I guess this is going to happen. I was like, can't avoid it anymore. The time is now. The time is now. And I loved it. I loved it, man. I don't think I ever felt more clean in my life. I was like, oh my God. I got back to the beach. I was like, oh, I can do it everything, man. I can do a backflip now. So now it was one of the episodes a few years ago. It was called Same Shit, Different Bidet. And I feel the same way. I don't like Trump, but I feel like I voted for a blue Trump. When I see stuff like this, where he's keeping the wall, he's keeping the cap on refugees, he's still got motherfucking cages. I don't even know what he's doing differently. He's still keeping the moratorium on different, they don't like to call it this, but it is a Muslim ban, and they targeted certain African countries that have a lot of. And to me, I've always said this: there's not a religious state. There is no such thing, but there are states that have a majority of religion. And most Muslim, actually not even, that's actually inaccurate if I would have said that. Most African nations are Christian, actually.
Right.
So there are heavily dominated Muslim areas, but it's a huge continent. Of course, there's lots of shit going on. But it sucks. So how do you feel about that? You don't need to tell us who you voted for.
No. I've been very candid about my journey. So I was a registered R up until this election.
Totally fine.
Yeah, totally fine.
Well, I have to say that, unfortunately. I don't know.
It's interesting because I was an R, but I never voted. Like, I was also a never Trumper. So I voted for Hillary the first time and then Biden the second time.
Rhino.
Yeah. And then I did switch over from Republican to Independent within the last few months, just because I was like, I can't have my name associated with this. But that's a topic for another day.
Yeah.
As it relates to immigration, immigration is, and everyone says this.
You're in a hot state for that. You're in a hot state.
And I will preface this with, I know this is a cop out, but I will say I do think it's a very, it's a complicated issue. I also think that Biden's in a very, very tough state in that, you and I were talking about who you would have wanted to vote for. And I think there's a lot of folks on the left that are very much aligned to more left-leaning politics. And so he's in this place where he has to kind of unite folks, so he has to be as centrist as possible, and in that he's probably alienating the folks that really were already skeptical of him, and they're now saying it's just the same old shit. It's hard. I'm in Arizona, so immigration is a big topic here. I think for a state, for a country that is not having kids. So, it's not like our population is exponentially increasing. So where do we get young people from? Where do we get talent from? Where do we get people to do the work here? It's immigration. If you grew up in Phoenix like I did, it's, I couldn't tell you the year, but essentially in the next 50 years, Arizona, Phoenix especially, will be majority Latino, right? So we will be a majority minority state, which is such a weird thing.
That was coming.
And I think it's exciting. I think it's
Me too. Absolutely.
It's something that Americans need to realize. It's just here. I was telling the story on Monday, actually, because a good friend of mine, she runs a nonprofit where it gets more Latino parents and folks from the community ingrained in education policy. So if we're going to figure out how to make education inclusive and what works for brown and black kids, brown and black families should be at the forefront of that, right? And so she and I were talking on Monday, and I was director at this venture philanthropy firm, and I was doing a presentation on education and investing in education. And one guy in the audience, this white dude, stood up, and you could tell this is the state of our country, because he felt emboldened to say this in a large. He was like, how much of Arizona's education issues because of we have all those. Did not say immigrants. He did not say minorities. He said a big word.
We get that, right? We're the Mad Libs.
Yeah, right.
And he's doing Mad Libs.
Yeah, he's doing Mad Libs. And I was like, sir, regardless of if you hate the fact that black and brown kids are here, they're the next workforce. They're the future of the state. So the best thing that we can do is make sure they have the best education, because these are the people that are going to they're going to work for you. It doesn't matter if you like the fact that they're here or not. They're here. So let's go for it. Let's get after it. And that's how I feel about this immigration policy in the United States. I think there has to be obviously some checks and balances and ways to just kind of know. I definitely want to know who's coming in and out of the country, regardless of where you're coming from. And I think that we should be much more, I think we should just be much more open and very much candid about and realistic about a bunch of people coming over from Mexico. Let's figure out how to do this right. Let's not say there's a wall. No, we know we can't figure it out. So let's make a policy to make sure that it's okay and it's equitable and everything's good. And I do think Joe Biden is going to have a hard time even
the next 5 of them.
Yeah, it's such a hot topic. But to your point of just that, the next 5 presidents, I do think it's generational. You're going to get a groundswell of voters that are just this is not the right immigration policy. This is what we want. My little brother's 22, and once they're in power, it's crazy to think that this was something that you guys were talking about in 2021, right? But I do think right now it's going to probably still be status quo. It's a long way of saying I think he's in a hard place. I don't think he'll change much. I think he'll get a lot of pressure from the left, but he'll just have to say, it is what it is.
Yeah, hell yeah. No, you touched a lot, and I'm very appreciative over that. Even though if I would have voted for Bernie, I don't think that he would have been great for immigration. I think I would have been very happy for him to be president, but that definitely would have been one of his weak spots. I think foreign policy would have been weak as well. I don't think there's a perfect president. I think the perfect president, though, I know a lot of people who disagree with me, and there's a lot of stuff I disagree with him for sure, but my favorite president is Obama. That's no secret. And to be honest, his foreign policy is the one that I agree with the most. He inherited a terrible foreign policy from Bush, but he still knew that he had, if he ran a platform that he had to run in the middle, and he really was a moderate. To be honest, he never was liberal. Never was. He was always against like gay marriage. He had to be progressed by the progressives to be more on DACA and DOMA, which I'm for. I'm also a lot aligned with you, actually. I think everything you said I agreed with, because I do not – okay, so in a perfect world, just like with guns, I think if we started at year zero, like when we came to the United States, when we settled and we stole this land from the natives, we should have said no guns, Constitution, no guns, blah, blah, blah. Instead, we made it a fucking one of the 27 amendments. Hmm. So we can't reverse that. We can't, especially your state, we can't reverse that. So bear arms. I'm all for the Second Amendment. I'm all for now, but I am for the Second Amendment though. Like that means more in black and brown people's hands. That's real Second Amendment, Malcolm X type shit. Like then arm us. It should be illegal for us not to have arms. So if that's the case, there's triple the guns of people in this country, and yet only Chicago and Baltimore got guns. Get the fuck out of here. Right. Anyway, right. My bad. I didn't mean to rant on that. But when it comes to immigration, I do not at this point in time, we don't live in a utopia. I do not feel that we should be borderless. So that's why I'm going back to Obama. His solution, which it might not even be, but I think it is that you have to fuck the wall. You have to hire more judges, hire more lawyers, hire more caseworkers, hire more social workers. You have to just fill that shit up and get them out. Get them out. Yeah. Like, and again, honor DOMA, honor DACA and DREAM. No, not DOMA. Sorry, that's a different one. DACA and DREAM. Again, forgive me on that one. That was a totally different law. That was for the estate tax for the gay and lesbians, and it basically made freaking gay marriage legal, basically. So again, different law, but DACA and DREAM, I'm for that. So I want to give amnesty to those 12 million Americans in my mind. Yeah. And I definitely think that there should be a lot of reform. Their own party member tried to reform it, and they ditched on him, George Bush. They ditched on him. So, like I said, healthcare, all those hot topics, to sum it up, it's going to take a long time. And you're right. It's going to take places like Arizona. It's going to take the whole America to have a lot of Latin and a lot of immigration. And to your point before, this country would be shit if it was just homegrown talent. And what the fuck is homegrown talent? Most of us are like second and third generation. So what the fuck is homegrown? That like you're not really homegrown either. You're technically immigrant talent too. You're technically outsourced talent as well. So I don't get why people are like that, entitled and emboldened, like you said.
I don't. I think it was. Where was I? I was sitting at a fundraiser for the senator, and we were having this conversation around when you think about like the top surgeons in the United States, those who had Cedars-Sinai and Presbyterian, like the top people in the United States are from Iran. It's like that person didn't come from Kentucky. That person wasn't born there.
That's a good point. I didn't mean to cut you off. That's a good point. Our best one is Ben Carson, and he thinks that the fucking pyramids are silos. So my bad. Go ahead. That's our homegrown talent.
Yeah, this country is powerful because of immigration, and I think people want to lean on the right type of immigration, the right type of people here. But no, there's talented folks from everywhere. And I also think it takes, with many of these social issues, just being ingrained and knowing the folks. So there are plenty of people I grew up with and went to school with they were not born here, but they've been in the United States for most of that. They came over when they were 3 or 4. So they're Americans, but they technically are not legally Americans. And
some of the families don't tell them until they're adults.
Yeah. They have no idea. That's part shitty. But it's
right.
It's also
spicy as hell.
Yeah, you grew up here, but you're not American. It's like, no, come on, that person.
Oh, by the way, when you see Ice run, what? Why? You didn't hear that from me. Right? End up on Orange is the New Black. Like, damn, no, Diana, no. But no, I'm glad. No, and I'm so happy that I'm so happy that we got connected on this because no, you're a great person to talk about these topics, and no, I'm glad that went. So let's get into some music news.
What the fuck did I
All right,
hear?
this is the music news. There wasn't that much because we had to recycle some shit. Fyre Festival, they're doling out the cash right now. There was a lot of people that were very disappointed with their cheese sandwiches. I don't blame them. They yelped it out. And so white people, they don't just yelp. They ask for help from their lawyers, and they definitely
go after folks.
Oh yeah, man. My dad is gonna get your ass. Right? Pull out that polo, and a little sweater, and be like, have your ass. It ain't no, like, black people go, oh, get your ass. No, white people be like, my dad's gonna have your ass. He's gonna have your ass. You know about that. We heard a lot of that in Indiana. Oh my God, man, those fucking rich fucks. But it was great. But anyway, so they're gonna get that cash. Those millennials that were very disappointed with those cheese sandwiches. They, lawsuits. And you said in the pre-meeting that you saw it. It was a great doc. Talk about it.
So there were two Fyre Festival
Hulu and Netflix.
Hulu and Netflix, and that was that 2018 or 2019? It dominated like our group chat for like a month. Just every day you'd be like, "Oh my God, did you know that this happened there?" And just
what people would do for a bottle of water, man. God.
Yeah. Just the fact that they were able to. What's that guy? Billy? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Was able to do that many people, and the fact that
and Jamal Atkins, don't forget about Ja the Icon, Mr.
Ja Rule.
Queens in the house, Queens out of the house.
That was just gosh, it was. I'm not a skeptical person, but I think like there were plenty of red flags for the attendees to be like, this doesn't seem like this is going to happen. Or like all the workers that were like, this isn't going to happen, but we just kept pushing through.
This is not a Coachella bracelet. This is at a construction site. What's going on? This is a zip tie. Are they trying to kidnap me?
Just looking there and getting out. And I remember in the documentary when people were like getting off the bus and they were like, oh no.
You're right. Both of those docs were great. I was like, damn, I already watched this, but oh well, I'm going to watch it again.
If you got that kind of money for a music festival, it's like, you're fine. Like, it's fine. You'll figure it out.
Can you explain to the audience what the difference was? Because they've heard enough from me today. Could you explain to the audience what the difference is of the two docs? There was two huge differences.
Oh, God. I think it was – I can't remember. There was one that
my bad. Wrong question there. My bad.
Yeah. I can't remember. I do remember there's like a one standout part of the Netflix one that everyone talks about where the guy that worked for Billy – they didn't have enough water.
That's right. What was that, Dasani? I forgot. That was Dasani. I forgot what water company that was.
I don't know. The water was like at customs, and Billy told the guy who was like, pretty much like, you need to go suck this dude off to get the water out. And
he was a great teammate. Great teammate.
The guy stone-faced on this documentary was like, I can't believe you're admitting this. And he says, I was fully prepared.
Yo, and he had his straight face and everything, like you said. I was just like,
and it's also I had
to rewind that part. And I'm glad it became like a meme and all that. It was legendary. It was legendary. Wow. Legendary TV.
Fully prepared. Oh, it's so good. But I'm glad those people are getting. Actually, not so good. Say glad. It's good that those people are getting their money back. They deserve to get their money back. Is that guy Billy? Is he still in prison?
So you know what That's a great question, and especially for an incomplete host like me, because I did not do that research. I don't know if he's in prison yet. I know that he was stalling. He
might not have ever gone to prison. So
he probably did, but not that long for stuff like that, man. So to give a little more backdrop, he's the one that reappropriated metal freaking, cause they already had the black card and shit like that.
Yeah.
Metal cards, and he was convincing rich people to get on that scheme. And then he created a fake Coachella on a remote island. The two key differences, sorry, I thought you knew, my bad. The Fuck Jerry produced the other one, the Netflix one. The Hulu one wasn't produced by him, but he was heavily involved. Billy was heavily involved in it. Ja Rule was more in the Netflix one. It was pretty much everyone else but Billy was in Netflix. And then Netflix and nobody else, pretty much. Like, there was very few other of his executives and confidants and stuff like that in the Hulu version. But they basically jumped ship, and they were just like, yo, we're going to make money with Fuck Jerry, man. And Fuck Jerry was their publicist at the time. So that's why they were heavily involved. So they basically were part of the production team, and they came out with that orange, freaking the same thing that they had for Black Lives Matter. They oranged out, and it was a huge wave. And you know, so funny, even though I'm saying all this, I learned it all from the doc. I didn't even know any of this shit was going on. I had no idea. And I'm in social media. I'm embarrassed. I was a social media manager at the time. I was a community manager at the time. And I had no idea any of this was going on.
Maybe no idea. I have the friends that would have been like the target audience, but I remember seeing the doc and being like, did you guys know that this was a thing that people went to a couple years ago? I just didn't know. I had no idea. No.
So R.IP to those people. So not R.IP, but I would have been, to be honest, back to your point, you were like, I'm happy. No. I love when, and I'm a millennial myself. And if I was spoiled like them, I would still feel the same way. I like watching them because they will get the money back. They got that privilege out there. That's okay. Yeah, mommy and daddy will pay for another concert. They won't even sweat it. They'll be like, get the fuck out of my face. Let me drink my margarita. Fucking go to that concert. Get the fuck out of my face. So there's still plenty of moments for that. Don't worry. But when they lose their shit like that, oh man, it puts it's like Robin Hood, man. It's giving it right back to the man. Like give it back to us, man. Because like. They need to, man. They need to. That's the only trickle way to. The Fyre Festival is the only way trickle down economics work. That's the only way. You got to let the shit come down for the bidet and shit like that. God damn. So, more serious note. R.I.P. to it. Yo, there's too many R.I.Ps on my damn show. Like I should make that like its own segment. It really sucks. Black Rob, like whoa. If you were listening to early 2000s rap. He is from Buffalo. He's a big East Harlem rapper from Bad Boy. Diddy did everybody dirty. He basically only promoted him on one album. That's the formula over there at Bad Boy. They only pretty much like stockpile the support on your first album. Whatever. There's all types of theories on that. So it's not like I'm right on that. Like a lot of people go, that's just how the music industry works. Like who gives a fuck if it's Diddy? You know what I'm saying? Like they all do it. Clive Davis. They're like, what's the point? Like why call out Diddy? I get your point. I get it. It still sucks. Especially when you do it to your own people.
Give me someone besides Diddy that's like, I'm trying to think on Bad Boy. Mace? Like, who actually was successful? The band? No, not really.
You said it. Yes, Danny Kane, the band, Biggie.
Oh, you know what?
Mace, Lil' Kim, Junior Mafia. Mary J. Blige was there for a little while when they were on, what was it called? Atlantic, Uptown Records with Andre Harrell. 112. They had huge success. Yeah, they owned the 90s with rap.
Yeah. There's probably like 3 albums. You know, now I'm angry because you mentioned Danny D. Kane. He did Danny D. Kane dirty. They were so good.
All of them. Faith Evans. He did all of them. There's nobody that Carl Thomas. There's nobody. What's his name? G-Dep. There's nobody that he. And again, he not that like he'll ever be a guest here. But like we were on Revolt and we were talking to him, he would defend it and be like, yo, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. You promote the first album, and if they could get it going, blah, blah, blah. Aerosmith didn't start independently, and they're like one of the mega rock groups of all time. First of all, they didn't become solvent until their third album.
Oh, wow.
Third album. They were in debt, which is the old model. Now a lot of these SoundCloud people, they produce their own shit, which is the right way to do it, to be honest. With the distributor, you don't need all that. You don't need the middleman. So when you did need the middleman, they were jerking them. They were putting them in massive debt, putting these artists in massive debt. That's why there was a lot of one-hit wonders, because they couldn't afford to put out more hits. They couldn't afford to put out with the distributor and with the big parent company, Sony, Columbia, all these motherfuckers. Right. They were bleeding them dry. And so, like I said, Aerosmith took 3 albums to get out of debt and start financing their own stuff, financing like tours, financing merchandise, being able to produce videos, which were huge in the MTV era, So my point is that, yeah, my bad. Diddy, I don't agree with his model. I don't agree with the old school model. I don't agree when he does it. Especially, and I know that sucks because black people, we have to be like triple times better. And that sucks because, like, I believe in this one, it applies to Diddy. Sorry. I know that sucks because, like, you know, you should be able to make money the way you want to, but my bad. There's a special place in hell for you, Diddy.
Hey, you're going hard after him. Okay.
Yeah, my bad. So he had kidney problems, Black Rob. He had 4 strokes within the last few years. And back to Diddy. Diddy came like late in the game, and I guess he gave him some shekels. He was living in an apartment with his friend. I forgot where, but he was on dialysis. So yeah, that's someone that had a number 1 hit. Like, whoa, it wasn't a number 1 hit, but like it was on the top 100. I think it got like number 43. It was huge. It was huge. And I'm shocked. I'm shocked he doesn't get enough royalties for that. Who knows what the percentage Diddy's taking from that? I know he does take a huge cut, but he also does, but again, that's his argument. He invests in them when they have nothing. And he gives them everything. He gives everything you need to make the most successful album of all time. But he's like, but I'm the one. He's like, even though I'm not the one singing, I made it all. I made it all happen. So my bad. That was lengthy. What do you? So you do know Black Rob? You're familiar with him? Are you familiar with any other songs?
No, just that one. I remember freshman year we had a guy running for freshman class president, and he did a rap to like "Whoa."
Who was it?
As his campaign speech. Looking back, I was like, that's pretty clever. But that song dominated my freshman year.
Absolutely.
But I don't know. I couldn't name any other Black Rob song.
I know some. 24 Hours to Live. That's with DMX and the Locks. R.IP to DMX last week. He's got Dom Espacio. That's with Lil' Kim. Dom Espacio. That's a good one. Yeah. So that was a good album. That was a really good album, Black Rob. So yeah. Sad to see him go. Sad to see him go in pain like that. But I'm glad that, you know, he's not in pain anymore. Kidney failure is terrible. You're in the health profession, and that's not the way to go out. We knew about this, and you and I are into the arts. We love the arts. Even at DePaul had I'll give them credit for that, to be honest. They had a great theater department. I was in that. They had a great media fellows department, all that good stuff. So it led to even more appreciation for it. U.S. box office, including Canada, plummeted 86%. And that's the industry that I'm in. I'm in media. And I'm not gonna lie, man, it's hard. It's hard out here for a pimp, man. It really is. There's no money for for branding. There's no money for sponsorships, partnerships. I'm sure it's on the upswing right now. I'm sure like right now it's just starting to butt up because a lot of things are opening up. But no, 2020 was definitely not a year for movies, for television, for concerts, for music. It was not their year. Definitely was not. Definitely not the people that should have been making money. Maybe like the Bezos and all those motherfuckers, like the top heavy guys, they still made money. But the people like working at theme parks and all that type of shit and sports venues and all the little people, all the considered little people, they didn't get it. They got fucked. They got screwed. Yeah,
the box office piece, that's so I sit on the Phoenix Film Foundation board. So movies are my thing. Like I'm pretty much every podcast is around this.
Nice.
So at the height of it, I would see 3 movies in the theater every week. So.
Oh hell yeah! You're my type of guy, man. Hell yeah.
I'm always in a movie. And now that things are back open, I'm back into movies. I'll go see one today.
Oh yeah, I want to go back to the theaters too. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like getting like crowd reaction too. Like
nothing like I was thinking the other day because I was watching it at home. It was like when I saw Avengers Endgame and like the last battle scene when you hear him say on your left, the audience went fucking crazy, right?
Yeah.
Or when Captain America could use Thor's hammer, like that was insane.
Yeah.
Like, imagine just seeing like that at home, like it's like okay, it's great, like those are great scenes, but getting hyped by the crowd is amazing. But it's showing how much. I mean, I think the home experience is fine, and people have to do it because they were sequestered and quarantining. But there's nothing like the movie going experience. That's why I loved it. It's also the one place I usually see movies by myself. So it's the one time where I could just leave my phone in my car, and then for 2 or 3 hours, no one's.
That is the best. That is the best, actually. I love leaving my phone off for movies. It's great.
And it's but you've seen these big national brands, AMC's.
There's such trouble. But Robin Hood keeps fucking them up.
Yeah, it's hemorrhaging, and I don't know if they'll be able to bounce back or return. I don't know if it's going to be just some mergers and of these movie theaters. I think also I was reading recently about just now that I didn't know this about theater and like Broadway plays. You actually don't make money unless you're at 70% capacity or above. So it's like, yeah, we can reopen and limited capacity, but that actually doesn't help us. Like we will still.
It's not sustainable. You're absolutely
right. Right. So that's I hope that the arts can regain and get some traction again, because what we found is that arts and culture is what kept us alive during the pandemic, but it was the biggest thing.
Depression every era. So, yeah. And that's why entertainers get $20 million sometimes at top salary. Athletes get $30 million, $50 million sometimes, because we can't live it without entertainment. We can live without eating sometimes, but we can't live without entertainment.
My buddy did a concert last week, actually. Same guy that did the freshman year speech. It's so funny. He did a concert last week because he was fundraising for an art center, and he talked about the arts are something that people see or just people discount them so much and say that they're unnecessary, even in education, right? So
I know, so sad.
Focus on STEM, but like, what got you through the pandemic? It was art.
Well, they have STEAM now. They include the arts in STEAM.
Yeah. Now they do STEAM, but it's like we've been so shitty as a culture to just kind of dismiss it and discount it.
It is shitty.
It's our livelihood. So I'm hoping movies come back this year. I've seen.
They will. They absolutely will.
Yeah. They've. I saw I know this is, I should be highbrow, but I love the Fast and the Furious series. Like I do not, but now I will, because I'll see anything now. Yeah. I will go. I'm
a fan now. I'm back.
Yeah. They have a new trailer out. There's a couple of things.
Right, bring 5 more now. I wanted it to end that, but now bring it on.
Bring them on. But yeah, that's a lot of money lost. I don't know how some of these big theater companies are gonna regain that traction, but we'll see what 2021 brings us.
They will. 9/11, the Great Depression. Good example. Charlie Chaplin. He's one of the people. I'm not saying he saved people's lives. I wouldn't go that far, but like he definitely is a great example. And I'm glad that you're a movie aficionado, so I can mention this. Life is Beautiful. With the Italian version of the Holocaust, in the lens of the Italians. Yeah, basically, spoiler alert, even though tragic things still happen in the movie, and he took sometimes that's all it takes. Bringing people to a fantasy world to take their mind. And I'm not saying like you shouldn't face reality. That's not good either. I'm not saying like it's a healthy balance, but because you'll just be asleep for most of it. And to be honest, you're already asleep a third of your life. You don't want to just be like, even when it comes to recreational drugs, like all that kind of stuff, you still want to be present. Life is still beautiful. But there's still great moments like that to be swept away by entertainment. And I'm not gonna lie, it hurt my heart a lot that not just as news, but how I make money, how I live and breathe it. And I love the arts. I grew up on show tunes, King and I, South Pacific, all those type of things. And I love Broadway. I love Rent. I love the Book of Mormon. I love the Scarlet Pimpernel. I love all that shit, man. I love all entertainment. I even love YouTube. I love all that shit, man. And so, like, when it takes a hit, I take a hit, man. I'm not gonna lie. I take a hit. I've been, like, less inspired and stuff like that. Maybe not for this platform, but, like, sometimes for my IG stories, like, it's just not as fun, like, being in this, like, Cloverfield type shit, man. It's not. I need to be out there, man. I need to be in the mix.
Are you guys? So you're in New York. Are things open there?
Not like 50%, like not much. And like the things that are open, it's like a joke. It's like they're either like being irresponsible or like they're being too cautious. Like the outside things, like they're like kind of like a bubble, like to eat outside. Which I get it. Like if you're like if you're in the restaurant business, which really got hit hard too. Like I'm pretty sure it's the same numbers, if not worse. But when they think, like, to be honest, is that safe? Like, what if somebody has COVID in that, like, fucking eatery thing? Like, I don't know. Like you said, assessing risks, like, we suck at it. We don't, like, that makes total sense, Axios. You hit it right on the head with that shit. God damn. But anyway, I don't want to harp on this too much. I'm glad that you're going back to the movie. So am I. I'm sure that, it'll still be a risk. I'm sure it still won't be as sanitized as it should be within like the next 2 years. But like you said, we have to innovate. We have to innovate. The people that will take the brunt of this, unfortunately, will be the ones that were like small spotlight films, like you say, off-Broadway plays. They're the ones that are going to be hurting. Those are the ones that are not going to be funded. And the big majors were the ones that did follow that Hollywood platform. We don't do it like Belgium. We don't do it like Bollywood. We don't put actually Bollywood is more like us. My bad. Belgium. The European model. We don't do where like BBC. We don't tax the nation, and then that's where we get our state sponsored. No, it's all capital, and it all trickles down. It's all, if Beyonce don't make money, fucking what's her name? We with somebody on her label. My homegirl. Damn it, I love her too. Flo Milli. Flo Milli ain't coming around an album. Flo Milli. Beyonce's got to make money first, man. Rihanna's got to make money first, man. And then you can go make your money. If you want to go make Minari, no, you can't make that until Ben Stiller makes his money, yo. He's got to make that Batman money, yo. Got to make that. That's how it works over here, unfortunately.
Minari, amazing film.
Yes. Oh, I loved it. It's definitely a contender. I didn't like it better than Parasite, but I definitely liked it. And I definitely think the grandmother deserves it. The grandmother, she's won BAFTA, and I think she won a Golden Globe. I think that she deserves it. And I love, what's his name? Is it Glenn? Glenn from Walking Dead. I forgot his name. He's so great. He's a good actor. He did something called Burn, actually. That was a really good movie.
Okay.
That's a Korean film. That's in subtitles. And that's a good one. There's this guy that's like infatuated with his best friend. She gets with what's his name? Let me not do him dirty like that. Because he's a good actor, actually. And he's nominated. He's up for Academy Award. Good for him.
Did you see Malcolm and Marie?
Yes, very toxic, but I liked it. But I'm toxic, so that's okay. Like I can deal with that.
That was a movie shot completely during the pandemic, right? And they made the precautions. I liked it. I went in thinking I would like it a little bit more. It was a great film. I think they're great actors. I think
definitely.
That was a great film. But it was also interesting to see like how you could do that just in a house, probably with a limited crew. So people did innovate during the pandemic and were able to put out a really good product. I like the movie.
We all do. Like, we don't like to be inconvenienced. No profession, no industry, no trade likes to be inconvenienced. But, and I mentioned this before, David Lynch, that's his name. Yes, Mulholland Drive and Twin Peaks. Great products. And he embraces, I think, Martin Scorsese says the same thing. He embraces low budget. He likes it. He likes taking those projects because when he has those limitations, he feels even more, like you said, emboldened. He feels more encouraged to innovate. He feels like if you cut the budget here, you cut that's better. Sometimes we have too much. Sometimes when you have the abundance, you don't know what to do with it. You don't know. Right. You get duds like John Carter. You get like shit like that when you have too much fucking money.
Terrible movie.
I don't know why that came to my mind first, but sorry, John Carter. That's a great book series, but that fucking movie sucks. Sorry, Disney. Not sorry. Anyway, let's move on to actually and this is supposed to be the fucking music portion, but it's cool. I did that on purpose. It was supposed to segue, so it's all good. And that's great that because you're such a great film guest, so that's why that happened.
Whoever I'm drawn to.
Just people. It doesn't. What the fuck did I watch?
I'm only trying to go this along because my man Sintar's a busy guy, man. He's got his Fitbit, he's got his fucking iWatch, man. He needs to work out, man. He needs to work out. He needs to get organized. He needs to start his Arizona day. So let's get through our movies, and then we can get to the interview portion. Documentary on HBO, Tina Turner. It's loosely based off the movie, which obviously based off her story, her tumultuous relationship with Ike Turner, and then how she revitalized her career at a late stage in life, but still became a megastar. Basically, arguably the first female rock and roll star. Basically, a lot of people will argue that, but I think she is. She's 81 years old now. They came out with a beautiful documentary, covered so much about her life, things that I didn't even get from the movie and even from the play that I saw, which was, again, very endorsed by her, very to the point with her. Angela Bassett was have you seen it? Are you interested in it? Do you love Tina?
I've not seen it, but now I will probably watch that today. What is it on? Is it on HBO?
It is on HBO, and it's very well done. 2 hours, well worth it. You'll want more, actually. You'll be like, damn, like this, like I know it was 2 hours, but damn, like this was great, man. I love seeing it. I love seeing her. I love seeing her come up. I love seeing her story. I love seeing her spirit. I love how beautiful she is. I like seeing it. Even at 81, I know she had a little Botox, but she still looked great, man. She still looked great.
I know. So what's love got to do with it? Focused a lot on her relationship with Ike. Does it?
Yeah,
I actually don't know much about her outside of that, so I'm hoping that the documentary goes above and beyond that.
Yes, it does. It does. It does. It shows how they met in Missouri. It showed more detailed about the abuse straight from her mouth. So it makes it even more like not valid, but like just like more real in your head because you get like, and she didn't want to no, and there's no blame with that. A lot of like trauma, it's not always necessary to bring back up. I think it is for me personally, like for my own personal like life, but like there's a lot of people that when they bring it back up, it just opens a lot more demons. And I think she's one of them. I think she's one of those people that lived through it and that's it. Like she doesn't need to look back, man. Her life is completely different now. Why do that? You know, it was really sad though for me. And I know it's like grow up, Vince, to see her being walked out. And she said it. She said, this is a farewell to my music career. And I'm just like, damn. And I know she's 81. I know that makes sense. That's real. It's reality. But this woman was shaking at like 60, almost 70 years old. And to see time just finally do it to somebody like that, like to say farewell, you're just like, damn, I'm never going to see her do that again. I'm not like, damn. I know. And I never really feel that about people. But for some reason, I felt that impact with her.
I can't wait to watch it. I can't wait to watch that today. She is one of those people that is such a trailblazer, trendsetter. And what I do know about her life is really hard, like really, really hard. So I'm excited to see that. But also, it's kind of sad. Like think about probably for our generation, like when Beyonce's 81, and we're like, man,
oh, we're gonna feel that way. Yep.
Like, dang,
yep.
I can't imagine. Yeah, so I can feel that sentiment from you on the Tina thing.
Yeah, because Beyonce, that's a great example because when she's 81, she's not going to like just be showing up like Adele, like going like this, like, you know, doing power ballads. No, she's done. She's like, no, my show is about like movement. Blah, blah. Yeah, I'm not giving you like, I never gave you that. Like I gave you maybe that like 3 times ever. That's not me. So that's a great example. Tina Turner is a lot like Beyonce, and Beyonce is a lot like Tina. That's a great example. And they're both huge rock stars. So not sad totally. It's a great story. I love it. And if people have a chance, if it's in their city, or if you want to catch it on tape or video, the play is amazing. And obviously, Angela Bassett and she still looked amazing. That woman doesn't freaking get old at all. She was in the documentary, and she's the one who blew up like J-Lo did with Selena. Angela Bassett was already on the scene. She still was an accomplished actor. But that blew her up. That made her a megastar. Lawrence Fishburne, everybody hated him after that. They were just like, motherfucker, don't be looking at me like that. Get your mushroom cut out of here, motherfucker. Like, right? And then even the memes where they show like, you talking to Jesus, Tina? You talking to Jesus, Hattie man? You talking to Jesus? Nobody told you to talk to another man. Nobody told you. And damn, you must really got a hold of somebody with a haircut like that, man. Like, yo, man, I would never let somebody with a haircut like that talk to me like that.
The memes, though, they're pretty good.
They're good. They were good. They were good. So the last movie, sorry, just 2 more. Made for Love is a HBO Max original. There's a difference. HBO has their own originals, and then for their platform, for their OTT, they're over the table for those people that don't know that. That is the streaming service. That's HBO Max, and they have another original, which is actually doing pretty well. I love Generation. That's a great. That's about the LGBTQ community. Like that's high school life within that in California is very good. What's his name? Justice Smith is in it. He's the main character in it. The guy from Jurassic Park, The Get Down, all that good shit. He's amazing. He's Pokemon, the Pikachu, Detective Pikachu. Yeah, he was in that though. I'm sure there's a lot of people who like that. But anyway, so they made a great new show. It stars Kristen Milotti, Billy Magnuson. Ray Romano is the father. He's really funny in it. And to give a short synopsis, this young woman, she's married for 10 years with this dude. They're a young couple. young married couple, and they're like kind of in the future, and they're basically like the inventors of Google. So they're that rich, and so they control all the I'm saying they, but it's mostly him, and he controls all the telecommunications. So he's convinced the world that his chip is going to go in everybody's head, and so he's trying to get a prototype. And without her will, he puts the prototype chip in her head, and she escapes, and the show starts from there. And it's amazing. I don't know why I was avoiding it. It's been out for a few weeks. As a matter of fact, it was episodic. They don't usually do that. They usually like let out the whole series, especially with the streaming era. But they let it out. I did not see it week by week. I saw it when the season finale was like a couple of weeks ago. So good. Again, don't be a dickhead like me. Actually watch this show. The show is really good. It's called Made for Love. She is made for love. She's basically manufactured for love. So this chip makes couples one. So like if you put the chip, and it's only made for couples, by the way. That's where they're promoting it. You put this chip in your head, and you see everything that your spouse sees. And that is so fucking creepy. So creepy, and you get to see each other's dreams, you get to see each other's thoughts, you get to see each other say sly things behind people's back, like basically like that Mel Gibson movie or the Taraji P. Henson version, where like you get to hear people's thoughts and shit like that. Holy crap! So yeah, I don't know if this was on your radar, Centauri, but it definitely should be.
It's great so in that show, and I'll definitely watch. Can you turn it on or off, or is it just like there all the time?
Oh yeah, no, I thought, you know what's so funny? I was watching, and I've been pushing this show back. I'm not gonna admit it though. I'm not gonna tell anybody because I did review the show, so I don't want anybody to know that I didn't finish it. But I keep putting on the trade block. I keep going, all right, let me go find something better. So I did it again with this show, and then I'm like, all right, let me see Modern Love. I'm probably not gonna like this. I don't know why I don't think I'm gonna like it, but I don't know. I don't know why I didn't like her. I liked her in Palm Springs, but I was just like, she's gonna lead a show. Ugh, Kristen Milotti. Ugh, all right. No.
Good.
She's on the run right from the beginning of the show, and mad action, mad stuff happening, mad weird things happening. You're just like, oh, shit. It's really good. It's very good. The last one is very subdued. It's a movie. It's called Land. It's with Robin Wright. She's a heavy producer in the game. She was also in Aquaman, House of Cards. And like I said, she along with the disgraced Frank Underwood, Mr. Oh damn, how did I forget his name? I love him as an actor. What?
Kevin Spacey.
That's right, Kevin Spacey, Academy Award winner. Even though Hurricane should have won, but yes, he won for being a Chester in American Beauty. I love Kevin Spacey, but he's a little dirtbag right now. But his counterpart, Robin Wright, she has a new movie out, and I will say this: if you're not into cinematography, this ain't the movie for you because. It's like a Hallmark movie, actually, to be honest. Like the kind of subject theme, she loses someone, she's grieving, she's in this really beautiful place, and she's like in a cabin, and I believe she owns the land too. I think she inherited it, and she has like a near-death experience, and like she gains a relationship with the person that helps her out with it. So, but it takes a long time for that story to develop. So again, if you really want to see, let me see where it actually takes place because it's beautiful. I think it's like Montana or something like that. It's gorgeous. It's like,
how is she in it as an actress?
Oh, she's wonderful. She's always great acting. Like I would never bank on her not being a good. She's a heavyweight. She's a legend. I love Robin Wright. So I was not. It got a 6.6 on IMDb, rightfully so. Damien Bichir, the guy from Weeds and Fidel, he played Fidel Castro in a movie one time that was really good. Kim Dickens, I believe she was on Sons of Anarchy and a few other programs. She's really cool. Where did it take place? Let's see where it took place. Yeah, see, all the reviews say beautiful landscape.
Right.
Wyoming. A bereaved woman seeks out a new life off the grid in Wyoming. So did Kanye. But anyway, no. Are you a fan of Robin Wright? Are you a fan of cinematography like Roma?
All of the above. I mean, Robin Wright, she made House of Cards and Blood. Like one of the.
I agree.
I think with people, it was polarizing. Very on opposite sides of it, one where the other was, should she have been the main character final season? I was like, I was waiting that entire show for her to be the main character. She just was dynamic. She's just a great actress. And then Yeah, as far as cinematography, I would see it because I saw the trailer and it looked gorgeous. It looked like it would take a long time to get through though. So I mean, I just wrote it down to add on my list because again, I'll see anything in a movie theater, so I will definitely go see Land.
Good. You should. I didn't want to dissuade anybody from that. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you're not into, like, if you're into if your favorite movie is Fast and Furious, this ain't the movie for you. If you're into things like, what's a movie? With Bruce Dern. What was the one with that? Was that Wyoming? I forgot what that was. Nebraska. If you're into that type of shit, yes, then this is for you. Go Robin Wright. I like that she's diversifying her reel. All good. Speaking of which, let's get into our guest, Centauri Minor. He is on the What the Fuck Did I Say portion. We will get into the brand of him. He does a lot of cool stuff. He's really, again, I always get people for my Instagram stories. He's really cool. He's really cool on the social scene, and we'll get into that right now.
Talking cheap, motherfucker!
What the fuck did I say?
Here we go. Again, Centauri Minor, at Centauri Minor, if you want to go stalk him somewhere and see him and his fitness journey with his friends and stuff like that. Like I said, we went to college together. And the thing that stood out to me, I know it's going to be weird, you were like the most stacked dude on campus. There was nobody with your body on campus. And you would go topless mad times. So like,
Probably too much. Like, it's so funny.
I don't remember you with clothes, to be honest. I don't even remember you with clothes. I was like, damn. Anytime I went to your frat, and I was in a frat too, but like, we were so frat centric. We were the most Greek life. Actually, I think we still are. I think we're life centric in the whole United States, and it made sense. And dude, and you threw great parties, and dude, again, I'm not the only one. Everybody was like, yo, Centauri is like an Adonis with a body. It makes sense. If I was in that shape, I'd be naked all the time too. But yeah, that's how I know you. That's how I remember you at least.
How you started off. Yeah. But before we started recording, we were just kind of reminiscing, Vince and I are on college, man. You know, it's interesting to think about like the people that you're really close to, and I'm sure you see this, like, and now they're parents, and you're like, oh, I remember you. And now that's like a little one.
That version of you.
Yeah. But the journey from, like, I think it's been great to see everyone. And for me, for me personally, just the person I was at 20, it's very different than I am at 35.
Rightfully
now.
So.
Right. And my journey, like, since then, it's been like, I'm sure you can tell this from Instagram. I'm just really passionate about like social impact, and so I don't even know that.
I love it. I'm a fan of you on LinkedIn too. Like, I think I like. There's a lot of people that love to talk like me, but I don't mind that people talk or want to like overexpose themselves or like want to mark. If they're putting out good shit, why not? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was on a thing on Tuesday with like some young professionals, and they were just asking me advice about some things. And I was like, your brand is so important, and so just getting yourself out there, thinking about how you want to be known, and being intentional about that is really important. I did a convocation address for the College of Integrated Sciences and Arts at ASU last. Yeah, it was cool. And so I did like the top 20 things I wish I knew when I was 20.
Great college state you're in. Great college state.
Yeah. It was I thought a good lesson that it really resonated with the students of like, no one cares. I'm trying to remember the list. It was like, no one cares how smart you are. No one cares. It's how you can persuade a room. So like, just be.
That's the truth.
And someone that people want to follow, and someone that can actually persuade people to do something. Other than that, like, it doesn't matter how. I think that's always a hard lesson. Like being a smart kid and then going into a room and be like, no one cares. Like, no one cares. And
that's how populism always takes form, man.
That's how it goes. Just be charismatic as you can without being a sociopath.
Very hard to do. Take it from me, folks. Take it from me.
What else is on that list? Like, your connections are everything. Like, having a good friend group is so important. What else was on that list? Failure is always, like, I'm sure you know this, is that, failing is how you really learn. Like, something that doesn't work out, but then figuring out how you can learn from that is really important. And so, yeah, it's been a fun journey since DePaul. And now I'm in healthcare and kind of like healthcare adjacent. I work for a firm, and we integrate behavioral health into primary care. So we put therapists into doctors' offices. That's the best way of like putting it out. And in that, I've just been very candid about my mental health journey. I think, one, men are terrible at admitting that, like,
black men, they're the most under freaking served community when it comes to mental health.
And so it's been important for me to, as part of my brain, to talk about it all the time, no matter what, about like how much therapy has helped me, how much it's important.
I'm glad, man. I'm really happy about that.
Yeah. How important it is for folks to really take a step back and just have an outside counsel on things that are going on in their lives. And then if you really want to really get into it, have a therapist that digs deep into like why you are the way you are, right? So sitting and being like, oh, because my mom said this when I was 7, this is happening at 35.
Don't tell that to Tina Turner. Don't say that.
Yeah. Oh man, I can only imagine that.
Right.
And going through that. And so I'm really passionate about just getting that stuff out to the masses and letting people know that it's okay and it's normal to see someone. It's normal to have bad days.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. We all should have one. I think it should be illegal not to have a therapist. It should be illegal for the person, but it should be illegal for the system. Just like it should be illegal that there's homelessness in this freaking nation. It should be illegal not to require people to have a therapist.
I can't. I tell people all the time. I cannot imagine what I would do without my therapist. I do think, like, if I ran like a venture capital company and I was like evaluating CEOs, my first question would be like, do you see someone? Like, do you have someone? If I'm going to invest money into you, I need to know that there is someone else, like outside counsel. And I just think it's so important. And people are now, I think generationally, people are now understanding it. So if you're 21, like therapy is just like commonplace, right? I think for our generation, it's known and people are okay talking about it. But like my parents, like my family, like that's not especially in black families, it's like, why would you be seeing someone? Why would you be talking to someone? That has to stop. So trying to normalizing it just in colors.
It makes sense though. It makes sense.
Yeah.
The American medicine, especially even now, birth rates in the community, eugenics. America has hurt the black community. Tuskegee, we mentioned it before, the Tuskegee, all types of studies, Manhattan Institute. We've been a part of it all. We've been the guinea pig for all that shit. So I don't blame them. I don't blame them for being skeptical. Same thing with police.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the article on NPR around about black people and vaccine, and it was really, really cool. And that they talked about the.
No, I haven't. I want to though.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Tuskegee experiments, and what it said was like, there's actually no research. What they found is like that was just an easy cop out of people being like, well, black people won't do it because of Tuskegee.
Oh, it is. It definitely.
People won't want this drug because of Tuskegee, and it's actually like, no, people remember Tuskegee. But they're hesitant. It was like it's hesitance and skepticism, but it's not like we don't want medicine. And so it does a really good job of like talking about how one thing has been ingrained.
We don't want medicine.
Our ethos, and like people are saying like because of this.
Throw me some tussin. Some tussin. Pick that shit up. Mo tussin. Not the big piece of chicken. Keep going, my bad.
No, okay. I mean, that's just my story. I mean, what else do you want me to talk about, man? Ask me anything.
I will. I got you, man. I got you. How much time? I don't want to take too much of your time. We had a nice pre-meeting, man. We poured it all out on the pre-meeting. That's what I'm saying, man. We got to save it for the show. No, I agree with you. What was I about to say about mental health? There was my personal business with that. I have not had great experiences with therapy, but I still believe in it. It's okay. And there's a lot of professionals who say, including people in my circle, my family members, that it takes around, for the average person, it takes 10 to 13 therapists to figure out your therapist, to be with like a practitioner, a physician, your lawyer, your tax person, and all these people, like, your barber, that's a huge one. Oh my God, your barber. You can't just be going to anybody, you know what I'm saying? Well, we're in Indiana. Good looks, Kareem. Good looks, Jarrell, with cold cuts, because goddamn, man, I was looking I was looking like a wet rat, man. I was like looking nasty. I know. I was like, yo, Indiana, what's going on here, man? These supercuts ain't doing it, man. These lemon trees ain't doing it. What's going on here? I don't want to cut my hair at Walmart. What's going on here?
I didn't know that stat about takes about 13, but it makes sense. For me, it was 4, and so I've had my therapist for this one for 3 years. And what I found is that I needed a male therapist. I didn't realize that.
That happens. It takes time to figure that out.
Finally got a male therapist. I was like, oh, this has been a disconnect. And it's not anything against you much.
No. You need to find a match.
My advice would be shop around, see what you like, see who you're comfortable with. There are some therapists there's one therapist that I had, to your point, where I was like, I actually don't know how you have a license because what you've been telling me has been actually detrimental to my mental health. And that happened.
Damn.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I do not know how you're practicing. But I got the he's cool.
Dr. Shade.
And my current therapist, he's good. Just like he's actually from Lafayette, Indiana. He's from Indiana.
Oh shit!
Nice. And he's just
they're like friends.
Yeah, he's good. He's great.
He doesn't even know it yet.
Yeah, he's like many therapists. He's bad on the administrative piece. I'm like, you charged me 4 times for 1 session. But that's all good.
Oh,
as long as he's a good therapist, that's all.
So he had to refund it, or did he like?
It'll just go into future. It'll just go into future sessions, which is fine. But,
okay, so he did charge you. I thought it was like an invoice. I'm like, oh shit. I mean, actually, it's worse, but yeah, that happens. It's all good. But no, you were fortunate enough to be able to be in the healthcare industry and have therapy. A lot of people don't have that resource. Yeah, no, it's great. I'm happy you do. Right now, I don't have insurance, so I'm about to get on Medicaid. Yeah, TMI for everybody, TMI. But you can still get it. You can still get not top tier, obviously, but you can still get mental health care. There actually is services for Black mental health. I could probably try to put that on the graphics for the YouTube channel. I don't know if you remember Amber Valverde. She gave me. Yes, she's great. She's a great Beyonce fan too. She probably is the biggest Beyonce fan I've ever met in my life. She probably is the Beyonce fan, actually. I don't know anybody bigger than her. Shout out to her. Again, we had a big loss a few weeks ago, Sean. So I'm sure she's on the get up with that. I'm sure I hope she's feeling better with that. I'm trying to feel better with that. That was a big loss. So yeah, man, no, I'm glad. Again, mental health is huge. Vaccinations are huge. The movie industry coming back is huge. So again, you are a perfect guest for all this. What is a movie that you're looking forward to next in the exhibition scene?
Oh, next movie I'm looking forward to. That's a hard question. Well, I don't want to answer this question because every time I answer this on a podcast, people are like, what? Probably it's like Fast and Furious or Mortal Kombat.
That's right. You kind of said, I was thinking Mortal Kombat. I was like, if you like Fast and Furious, you definitely got to like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. I mean, those are the ones I'm looking forward to. Yeah, those are the ones I'm looking forward to the most. Like, I do like highbrow movies too. Like, I saw all the all the ones that are on the Oscar short list, but there's nothing like Fast and the Furious in a movie theater. Like that's like I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah, I'm excited. I know you can't really recreate IMAX in your fucking living room. Like,
at least I don't have to do for it. So.
Right, I know. I'm sure people could. I'm sure people, but those are the same people getting refunds for Fyre Festival. That ain't us. That ain't us. Where do you see, we saw Obama, again, that's my favorite president. That's not everybody's favorite president. That's okay. But that is hard. It's hard work. Like we said, immigration, there's certain things that require a lot of legwork, so much that it may be so daunting to someone that they don't even want to touch it. They just want to either patch it up or do something to be like, save it for the next president, the environment, all those good things. But I think that he made the most progress. Same thing with Hillary Clinton, whether you feel like you should lock her up or not. She definitely made a lot of strides with healthcare within her husband's administration. So when it comes to the next frontier, when it comes, like we were talking about mental health, when it comes to that, when it comes to vaccinations, when it comes to that, what is the next frontier for health? Where are we going? Passports, where are we going? Where are we going? Give us a hint.
There is, God, what is I'd have to find the name of the project that it was, but it was pretty much like these private, I know Berkshire Hathaway was part of it, but it was like
Warren Buffett.
Amalgam of 3 very, very well-resourced private entities that were supposed to tackle healthcare. And what they found is that they couldn't. They pretty much dismantled them.
I think you know what you're talking about. I think that was Chase and Amazon and shit.
And one of the things they said, like, the private sector can't do this. The government has to. Like, there's no way you can do this without the government being involved. So I think the next frontier, and this is coming from a conservative, but I think it's the right thing to do, is a single payer health system. But that has to happen.
At least.
Yeah, that's table stakes, right? Seeing how disjointed it is, seeing how much you just have to have a place for everyone needs to have some sort of access to healthcare. So I sit on
one-third of our bills, one-third of America's bills is healthcare.
I sit on the board of an F2HC, which is a federally qualified health center, and the whole thing, when you're
not evaluating CEOs, when you're not
right, exactly. I do spend a lot of time on boards.
Good for you, man. You worked hard for that. Good for you, man.
F2HCs were created to pretty much created to bring quality healthcare to everyone. So they're usually in rural markets, they're in low-income areas, because what we know from a pop health standpoint is that we are better off if everyone is better off, right? Like, as a population, as a nation, the more people that have access to quality healthcare, the healthier I am, or the healthier our society is. And so I think that's going to be the next frontier. I'm seeing a lot more around telehealth. So the pandemic helped us realize that there are some things that can be done virtually, right? So before this, you wouldn't be able.
What was it? Oscar shot up the service.
Right. There's been so many ventures that have come out of this. So before COVID, you weren't able to be reimbursed on a teledoc visit the same way as you would.
Wow.
That changed during it because people were like, no one's going to their doctor's office, so we have to be able to do this. So there's been a lot of healthcare innovations and strides on the technology front. I will say our organization is very much on the where it comes to therapy efficacy, are very much believe in on-site and in-person. So while I just said that about healthcare being more technology advancing and innovating, there are some things like therapy that just have to be done one-on-one, and in person. Yes, teletherapy works. There's a great article called the Therapy App Fantasy, and one of the quotes that we've pulled out for our marketing agency is virtual therapy is watered down therapy, and she talks about being
good point.
Being on a therapy call and seeing someone folding clothes and they're not engaged in this work as they would.
That would really be shitty. Charging me 4 times, bitch. Fold your clothes later. Fold your clothes.
Not the time for that.
Man. Go get some fabric softener and do that shit later.
So we're seeing that. I'm trying to think what other trends. I think the vaccine passport that'll happen, and I do think it should. At this point.
I don't think it should be federally mandated, but I definitely think companies and they need to keep their consumers safe. I think they should be able to do that.
I have Clear, so I don't know if you have Clear.
I need to. Oh my God! Before my trip, I definitely should do that.
Best thing in the world, by the way. I always feel so great. I used to do a lot of work. I'm based in Phoenix, but I used to.
And you fly a lot, so that's perfect for you.
Yeah, between Phoenix and Dallas, and then I was in San Francisco a lot. And the best thing would be to see all these people in pre-check, just lined up like general admission, and then having Clear, putting your fingers on the thing and just walking by them. Get clear. But I do think they'll add something biometric around the vaccine, and you should. Healthcare is that thing that is the biggest beast in any given room. There's so much money spent on it.
It really is.
It's so complicated. No one quite knows any real solutions. There are micro solutions, and there's definitely some innovation and some things that are pushing us towards better healthcare solutions.
I don't want to pay for their healthcare, but yet they'll pay for the people missing out on their hospital visit and not paying that bill. Who has to pay for it? Us. We had to pay for that. We had to pay for that shit.
Yeah, the how short-sighted this country is on, if we just paid for people to be healthy on the front end, we won't have to pay for things.
Preventative medicine. We don't practice that at all. We just do recovery.
Preventative medicine is so important, and also helping people understand the social determinants of health. So when you are wondering why this person is coming back in the hospital, it's they don't have access to mental health services. They're using this as their de facto mental health piece.
Yeah.
If you understand why this person can't keep up on their diabetes medicine, it's they don't have a job, so they can't pay for it, or they don't have access to healthy food, or it takes them 3 buses to get to their doctor's visit. That's why they don't come to you.
Would you know this? Did they regulate that finally? I know that under this administration, the EpiPen, I believe, the insulin, I think that shot up a lot actually. Maybe you don't know that. My bad.
No,
I don't know that got settled because I know that there was a big deal about that. There was a lot.
I do remember medicine, and that's also a thing. I think pharmaceutical companies, while great during this pandemic. Like, shout out to Pfizer for keeping me safe.
Yeah. Word up. Word up, homeboy.
It's also very, very, very clear that they drive the prices on a lot of these things. It shouldn't cost that much to have something that you need to for your life, right? So I think there'll be a reckoning on that. I don't know who does that because pharmaceutical companies are in everyone's pocket. So
for real, even Obama, his top 10 donors were pharmaceuticals and banks.
So yeah, those are the things I would say about that what I'm seeing in healthcare. And there is, and specifically to my sector, there's a lot of research that's coming out. Well, it's already been done, but now validating the fact that people want their mental health and physical health to be combined. People really trust their doctors. You really trust your physician. So if you want access to mental health, your physician should be the first foray. And primary care really is de facto mental health anyway. So equipping physicians with the right tools to help them get folks on the right mental health track. And so that's the work that we do, which is super exciting. And the fact that people are being there's more research validating that that's the right way to go is having it all in one place. That's also a really cool trend.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Other countries that use universal methods, I'm not saying that we should always, I am saying that actually, but I don't think that'll happen. I think there's just too many people that are like you said, that have that insurance companies, private insurance, that they're just too much in our pockets. Pharmaceuticals, they're just too much. Just like the NRA. The NRA is finally getting watered down enough, but that industry is not as guns are not as sustainable as healthcare is. And like I said, the universal healthcare industries, like Europe and different South American countries and stuff like that, they get paid to keep you healthy. Over here, they look forward to you being sick. And that's when I know that's a sick cycle. That's like, I don't know how people don't look at it that way, but they don't. It's okay. And I mean, it's not okay, but I just got to wait. I can't force people to see it that way. And I hate to talk in that language, in that jargon, because that's what conspiracy theory talk like right there. I can't help that they can't see. I can't help that they can't see. They're blind. They're blind. Blah, blah, blah. They call you woke and shit. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I do believe in universal healthcare. I think we should have been on that 100 years ago. But if you're going to compromise, I agree with you. There should at least be a single payer option, or the last resort, the one if you're going to be totally lazy, expand the shit out of Medicaid. Expand the shit out of Medicare. Make that. But even though I believe in universal health care, I still think the private industry should still stay intact because people want that. Like you just said, in person and stuff like that. People have. I don't give a fuck. My physician is my physician. Therapy would be different. You're right. I would be more inclined to be more personal. But my physician, I don't care, girl, guy, whatever. Just check me. Let me cough my nuts and we're out of here, man. I don't give a shit. I'm healthy. My triglycerides are up. Man, let's pasta. But so it's not personal for me, but I get why it's personal for other people. So I want that for them. So I think universal, single payer, whatever, those two options, which were supposed to be in the AHA until they beat the shit out of it, until your boy Harry Reid, actually, that motherfucker was useless. Pelosi, all those assholes, they abandoned shit. They let him sink. They did not support him. They had three, like they have now. They have three blue in the sectors, except for the Supreme Court. But every other of the branches are blue. And they did nothing with it. And that's historical, actually. It's not just blue, it's red. Whenever they have a trifecta, that's what it's called. I believe it's happened around, I don't know the exact number, but it's happened enough. And they still can't do it. Whenever they all together, they still can't agree. They still can't pass laws. I mean, to be honest, I'm not choosing sides. Democrats actually pass a lot more laws. But that don't mean they're good. The crime bill was one of them. That don't mean they're good. They just pass law. They're I'm going to pass this law. I'm going to pass this bill. Here you go. Republicans are just we're not going to pass shit. Nothing. Don't do nothing. Don't do nothing. What? Slavery's on the Constitution? Women are not in it? No, don't take that. Don't take that. Don't bother that. It's all good, man. Conservative principles. So yeah, that's how I feel on that. And we will end this. We will end. I mean, unless there's more you have to contribute.
Let's see. What is there something I want to talk about?
Yeah, please. This is the platform, man. Like the Academy Awards. As a matter of fact, I have something to say.
I don't know if there's. I mean, what's been on my? I'm doing I think for Phoenix Startup Week next week around how to create how your company can be like an anti-racist organization. And like 10 years ago, I never thought I would be the person pushing this until, George Floyd happened, what we just saw in the last 2 weeks in Minnesota. It's really important for me for people to know that companies and brands are now going to have to start paying attention to this. And people, no longer is it going to be like this thing that only black folks care about, right? It's now people are demanding that if you are not, and it's not woke, it's just being a fucking human being.
True.
Understand that these
empathy
are
and compassion. That's not not as common as common sense, apparently.
Right. If these are the things that are happening in black and brown communities every day, and you're not doing something about it, then your brand is going to be at risk, and rightfully so.
Right. At least got to fake it like Nike.
Yeah, at least do something at least informative.
Just do it. Should be just fake it. Just fake it.
Just fake it. That's been heavy on my mind, and I'm trying to think what else while I have you.
You've been wonderful, by the way. I'm so happy. You're a great guest. Great.
Anything around, like, I will say to folks, if I were going to give any advice, like, I try to read at least an hour of news a day in some way. So and you probably see on Instagram, or not on Instagram, on LinkedIn.
Yeah, you're well informed, man. You're a great, well-rounded individial.
There's
Renaissance man.
Ground News. Have you seen this?
What's it called? Round News?
Ground News is an app.
Ground News. That's cool, actually. I like that. On the ground. I like that, actually.
It tells you, it compiles all the news articles from every major publication. It tells you.
Digest. They do that a lot. Apple News, all of them. They'll do that.
It tells you what percentage left or right it is. You can see it.
Get out of here. Oh, that's cool.
As I read it. Or this is going to be a left-wing article as I read it, which is amazing.
That is really cool. I mean, I don't know how you judge that, but yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I'm sure they have some.
On a consistent rubric, at least, but that's cool.
So that's something that I always read, because I'm after this last election, I was really disappointed by all
the divisiveness, and especially you're talking about inclusion. There was nothing inclusive about this election.
Yes. And so,
are you familiar with Jopwell? Sorry, are you familiar with Jopwell? Okay, they're a company that specializes in diversifying companies. I thought you would be.
Ooh, okay, yeah, that's awesome.
I have a friend that works there. Yeah. Sorry, I thought you would mention them.
They're the idea of just taking some time out of your day to read.
Definitely, absolutely.
Whatever that might be, just
not just the headlines or memes, guys.
Yeah.
Some actual words, some sentences,
and
paragraphs.
What I've also been pushing is this idea of self-care, right? So in a world where there's just so many things happening, you got work, you got kids, you got spouse, you got this, you got that. Taking some time for yourself and really intentional time to know what will take you away from the world for a little bit and rejuvenate you. So whatever that is, a lot of people say yoga. My therapist.
Yoga's great.
You just need to take at least a 10-minute walk every day. I was like, you're right. And so
you're right.
I was like, this is so stupid. And then
hold up. What if I don't live in Arizona? What if I live in Alaska?
Yeah, what are you supposed to do? Yeah, good luck.
What if I live in Syria and there's like bombs outside? Yeah, man.
It's been funny to see people people have seen a marked difference in me because I've just been walking every day, right? And it is like something I put in a podcast. Or I'll start putting in your podcast. Smartless is one that you should definitely listen to. It's Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and then who's the guy from?
They both have a podcast together.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and then Sean Hayes of Will and Grace, Jack from Will and Grace.
Them three? So get out of here! That's a random. I mean, I know they're both for Arrested Development, but Sean Hayes, that's.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. How do they know him?
He might have guest starred, to be honest. He might have guest starred.
They're great to have in your ear as you walk. So like stuff that you know.
It's good to know my competition. It's good to know.
Yeah, just know that things that you'll know that will work for you to.
I love Jason Bateman.
And rejuvenate. That'd be great.
And I love BoJack Horseman. God damn, that was one of my favorite shows ever.
Is that
Will Arnett? He's the voice. It was on for like 6-7 seasons on Netflix. It was incredible. Such a great cartoon. He was the voice of this old child acting star, and he's and everybody's animals, and he's a horse, and he's so like human body, but like a centurion.
Oh man, now I gotta watch that. I've written down all these things I have to watch.
I know, I'm a nerd with all that shit. Sorry.
No, but this is so cool, man. This is so fun. I love the format of this. It's I love that you interacting with your guests on some really cool topics. It's like I had a Black Rob story. That's good. That's so fun.
It's like motherfucking whoa.
Love it.
Cool, man. And sorry if you weren't prepared for the adult nature of the show. I had Charles Kuykendall on recently, and that was my only, out of 107 episodes, my only curse-free episode. If anybody wants to catch that guy, he's great. He's incredible. He does a lot of promoting events and a lot of curation and stuff like that. So if you didn't see that episode, he is also the host of the Shade Room, Shady Brunch. Yeah, that's how he's right. That's how he's blowing up. I love him. I'm a big fan of him. I'm a big fan of you. Again, we weren't like tight on campus, but hey, whatever, man. The cookie crumbled this way, and we're cool now, man. We're cool now. I'm gonna go visit you when I go for my sister's wedding. Shout out to my sister. She's getting married in Arizona. Beautiful state. I've only been once. I had a great time. Grand Canyon, Horseshoe Bend. I did all that shit. And I had a great time at the wedding. Shout out to Serena. She's also been on the show. She, her last great credit, and she's still on fire, by the way. She's still doing very well. Wonder Darkly with my man, not Pedro Pascal, the guy from Narcos, the newest season.
Oh, gotcha.
Felix, and he's also been in a Star Wars show. Damn, I forgot his name, but Sienna Miller is the co-star. So yeah, right. And so she got the co-star with him. That was very, very cool. And she has a good scene in there too. She's got a great cameo. My girl Serena's on the rise. Like I said, Centauri, he's in the health industry. He is a health conscious person, no matter whether it's mental health, whether it's your body feeling good. He's back to his roots. He's back in Arizona. I didn't know that. I didn't know that recently. That was his place of origin. Again, I love that state. Great state. I probably wouldn't live there. I don't know how you do that with some of these, like, immigration laws.
Yeah, it's rough, but it's home.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, good for you. No, there's definitely pitfalls over here. I love New York City. I think it's the best. I still think it's the best city in the world, but we definitely got some grimy shit going on over here that I can understand that it's not for everybody. Definitely understand that. There's 10 rats for every person. That's not for every person. That's just saying. So where can our audience catch you? Where do you want them to find you? Where do you want them to stalk? And I was going to say that about therapy. I'm like, yes, you need in-person therapy. How are you going to stalk these motherfuckers otherwise? How are you going to have James Gandolfini how are you going to have James Gandolfini? How are you going to have Tony Soprano try to fuck his therapist? That can't happen on Zoom.
That's so funny. You can find me at CentauriMiner.com, at CentauriMiner on Instagram. I'm pretty easy to find. There's no other Centauri Miner. So
there really isn't. You have a great name, too. Great name. I finally saw your family. I look on Instagram, like, I never saw his family before. They're a great-looking bunch. Look at you, man. Everybody got great smiles. All of you guys got great smiles, to be honest.
Reach out to me anywhere. Happy to talk. Happy to provide any insight. And, thanks for having me on the show, man.
Thank you. Thank you for that great backdrop. It's a whole new world with that rug back there. I like it. It's really nice. You admitted that, by the way. I was like, nice backdrop. And he's like, this fucking rug, this shabby shit, this shag. Yeah, that one right behind you. Good. Check out Centauri Miner. He's got lots of entertaining things going on. He's living life. Oh, one more question. What's your favorite cocktail?
My favorite cocktail? Oh, man.
I saw you with the Cosmo recently. I saw you with that.
That's not my favorite cocktail. My go-to is a dirty gin martini.
Oh, it's a good one. Nice one.
What's your favorite cocktail?
Ooh, I'm not really into hard liquor, but I think I'm going to go mad basic right now. Honey Jack with lime. I like that. That's a pretty staple for me. And I do like old fashions. I do, and a good one. It's like macaroni salad. I don't eat mayo anyway, but it's like potato salad and shit like that. Like, don't invite that bitch over anymore. Same thing with same thing. Yeah, I know. Don't let her fuck up the potato salad. Same thing with old fashions. People would be offering it to me. I'd be like looking like, how do they make it? Oh, okay. That's not that nasty ass cherry from the fucking bar. No, you got an actual real nice dark cherry. I'm with it. You actually got the bitters. I was a bartender. I'm like, so that's why I'm like looking. I'm like, no, what the fuck? No. That's not, no, you made the old fashioned into like a pickleback shot. What happened? What happened here? This is not good.
Bartending is an art. Yeah, you got to find a good one.
Yes, I agree. Same thing with therapy, all that good stuff. So thank you for that last question. I hope it didn't take too much of your time. Again, you've been wonderful. Great. You've been perfect. You're a great co-host. You were talking about podcasting. You'd be great for a podcast, man. Like, better send that information over if you develop that. If you need help with that.
I did. We should have started with it. I have a podcast. It's called.
I didn't know that. I thought I did research. I had no idea you had one.
Yeah. So that's where you can find me. Search and figure.
Why didn't you plug that? What the fuck?
I should have. Figure it out on Apple, Spotify, Google. It's a podcast.
Is it by yourself? Why did I never? What? Thank you. Said you never, ever. We've been in the DM. No, you never ever. I don't see it promoted. I watch your story every day. I hear you calling out bitches for not working out. You're like, are you watching the sunrise and are you working out? No, Atari, no. I'm eating a piece of cake, as a matter of fact.
So it's a podcast I've had with my buddy George since after the 2016 election. The day after the election, we started the podcast. So I'll figure it out.
And you've been doing it longer than me. What?
Yeah, we have a couple hundred episodes. Yeah, it's been great. It's me and my buddy. We bring on a guest. We talk about things to move people from awareness to action. So we've had on public figures. We've had on business owners. We recently had the CEO of an organization called Local First Arizona on to talk about businesses reopening. And so, I figure it out into Apple Podcasts, and you can hear me talk too.
Nice. So that's your major platform. Great. Yeah. So we're also on Apple. Wow, man, I definitely got to thank you. I don't know who I'm more embarrassed for, you or me, that you didn't plug it or that I didn't ask or I didn't look hard enough. I don't know where that disconnect happened. Whatever. I'm going to get over that. So, again, you can find him Centauri Minor. You can type him in. You can type in his shout out as well. That is David Gerber. We are on Keep Up NYC. That's our Instagram. You'll see that if you're on YouTube. You'll see all our good stuff. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts. We're on all major DSPs, to be honest. I said Spotify, I believe. We're also on YouTube. We have a YouTube version. It comes out a couple of days after we debut all DSPs. Again, Instagram, Keep Up NYC. Keep Up NY is our Twitter. We have Keep Up Shut Up if you want to be part of the Facebook group. I'm Still Insane. There's a lot of fan pages out there. I'm pretty sure there's people copying off of that at this point. There was actually an account I had to shut down. It wasn't that recent, to be honest, but whatever. It just shows you everybody wants to copy somebody. Doesn't matter how whack they could be. Everybody want to do something like that. Who knows? There's always bored. StillInsane.com, all that good stuff. You want to email me, people have. As a matter of fact, I didn't realize I double booked. I had another guest. He wanted to talk about flat Earth. I'm going to have to reschedule that.
Oh, okay.
That's really candid. We scheduled this later. I don't know how I missed that, but whatever. I'm a one-man wrecking crew. So that shit type of happens. You got to have apologies on deck. But again, another apology that I did not know about your podcast. I'm definitely going to catch up with that, especially over 100 few episodes. I should have known that too, man, because you're a great public speaker. It makes so much sense, and you're very in tune with a lot. It felt like we were co-hosts, to be honest.
Yeah, this is so
That's why it felt so natural. That's why it felt so good. Anyway, so I will end it. Here we go. We had a little outro. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but here we go. You're going to see it right now. You better shut the fuck up, listen up, and keep up with Still Insane and my homeboy Centauri Minor. He's got his own podcast. Shout it out one more time.
Figure It Out is the name of the podcast.
That's right. And he's on Keep Up right now, and you can go figure it out. What podcast he's on? It's called Figure It Out. That's awesome, man. Another fucking cliche. I love it. Here we go. Over and out, homies.